In the top stories, St. Kitts and Nevis moves towards greater inclusivity with approval of key human rights conventions. U.S. citizen and 3 others shot during Trinidad Carnival. And Trump issues last warning to Hamas as U.S. confirms direct hostage talks. Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Today is Thursday, March 6, 2025. I'm your presenter, Shanique Harvey, nationally. Under the leadership of Prime Minister the Honorable Dr. Terence Drew, the Cabinet of St. Kitts and Nevis convened on Monday to review and approve crucial policy decisions aimed at advancing the nation's social development and ensuring the well-being of all citizens and residents. Among the key outcomes of the Cabinet's discussions was the approval for St. Kitts and Nevis to become a state party to 2 significant international human rights conventions, reflecting the government's unwavering commitment to inclusivity and the protection of vulnerable groups. This was outlined by Cabinet Secretary Dr. Marcus Natta during this week's edition of the Post-Cabinet Briefing.
This pivotal convention champions the principle of equality for all, ensuring that age is never a basis for discrimination. It enshrines essential rights for our elderly population, including the right to care, the prioritization of aging in public policies, and the establishment of robust mechanisms to prevent abuse, neglect, and violence against older persons. By ratifying this convention, St. Kitts and Nevis reaffirms its dedication to fostering a society where every individual, regardless of age, is valued, protected, and empowered to participate fully in our nation's growth. This step aligns seamlessly with our vision of a sustainable island state, where inclusivity and active participation are not just ideals, but lived realities.
He also shared Cabinet's approval to make St. Kitts and Nevis a state party to the Inter-American Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Persons with Disabilities. He noted that this move strengthens the Federation's resolve to create an environment where individuals with disabilities can contribute.
This convention represents a bold commitment to preventing and eliminating discrimination against persons with disabilities, ensuring their full integration into every aspect of societal life. By ratifying this convention, our nation takes a significant stride towards creating an environment where persons with disabilities can thrive, contribute, and enjoy the same opportunities as their fellow citizens.
He concluded by stating that the ratification of these conventions underscores St. Kitts and Nevis's ongoing efforts to uphold human rights and enhance the quality of life for its people. The National Council on Drug Abuse Prevention convened its first general meeting for 2025 on Wednesday, marking a significant milestone in its commitment to advancing national efforts in drug prevention, treatment, and supply reduction. The meeting was chaired by the Council's chairman, Assistant Commissioner of Police Travis Rogers, and attended by key stakeholders dedicated to fostering a coordinated and strategic approach to drug abuse prevention. Executive Secretary Mrs. Karimu Byron Keynes gave members a comprehensive overview of the Council's establishment, composition, and core functions. She further outlined the Council's 2025 budget allocations, objectives, and planned activities, reinforcing the Council's mandate to centralize and enhance the coordination of all drug-related initiatives in St. Kitts and Nevis. In alignment with this commitment to collaboration and interagency cooperation, the Council welcomed Mrs. Jehan Williams-Knight, chairperson of the St. Kitts and Nevis Medicinal Cannabis Authority, to provide an insightful presentation on the authority's establishment, regulations, and potential areas for collaboration. The discussions underscored the importance of a harmonized approach in addressing drug-related policies and programs to ensure national well-being. Major General Richard Heitkamp, director of the Inter-American Defense College, or IADC, recently concluded a successful visit to St. Kitts and Nevis, accompanied by U.S. Navy Captain Rick Ursery and Ambassador Jacinth Henry Martin. The visit highlighted the IADC's commitment to enhancing security cooperation and capacity building with the country. During meetings with Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew, Minister of National Security Honorable Dr. Denzel Douglas, and other senior officials, discussions focused on improving security collaboration, education, and capacity building. Prime Minister Drew emphasized St. Kitts and Nevis's holistic security strategy, which includes addressing food, health, citizen, and economic security alongside ongoing crime reduction efforts. Major General Heitkamp introduced IADC's educational and training programs, which could enhance the nation's security capabilities. A key outcome was the announcement of a fully funded scholarship for a master's program at the IADC aimed at strengthening the nation's security sector through professional development. The visit underscores the ongoing commitment of both St. Kitts and Nevis and the IADC to regional security cooperation and building long-term capacity within the country's security forces. We move now to news on the regional scene. Carnival celebrations in Trinidad and Tobago took a tragic turn on Tuesday when a shooting left one man dead and 4 others injured, including a U.S. citizen. The incident occurred despite heightened security measures under an ongoing state of emergency, or SOE, imposed to curb rising crime and violence across the nation. The deceased has been identified as 30-year-old Irvin Joaquin Mayora, a Venezuelan national, according to the Trinidad Express. The injured included a 66-year-old man from Diego Martin, who was shot twice in the right leg, a 25-year-old man from St. James, who was shot in the head and remains in serious condition at the Port of Spain General Hospital, a 29-year-old woman from Maraval, who was shot in her right hand and knee, and a 65-year-old woman from Maryland, USA, who was grazed on her left leg and has since been discharged. St. Vincent and the Grenadines continues its award-winning streak as a leading nature destination following the announcement of the Destination of the Year Eco Adventures Award. This prestigious recognition was presented to St. Vincent and the Grenadines by the Pacific Area Travel Writers Association, or PATWA. International Travel Awards Council during the International Tourism Exchange in Berlin, the world's leading travel trade fair taking place from March 4th to 6th, 2025. PATWA, a globally recognized professional organization and an affiliate member of UN Tourism, annually acknowledges outstanding contributions in the travel and tourism industry during the event in Berlin, which attracts about 10,000 exhibitors from more than 180 countries and regions. Internationally, U.S. President Donald Trump has issued what he called a last warning to Hamas to release the hostages being held in Gaza. Trump said in a lengthy post on his Truth Social platform, quote, "I am sending Israel everything it needs to finish the job. Not a single Hamas member will be safe if you don't do as I say," end quote. Hamas accused the U.S. president of encouraging Israel to break the ceasefire deal currently in effect between the two sides. Trump's statement came just hours after the White House confirmed it was holding direct talks with Hamas over the remaining hostages. Washington has until now avoided direct engagement with the group, and there is a long-standing U.S. policy against having direct contact with entities it lists as terrorist organizations. French President Emmanuel Macron has said he will discuss extending the French nuclear deterrent to European allies to protect the continent in the face of threats from Russia. Macron, in a televised evening address to the nation on Wednesday, described Russia as a, quote, threat to France and Europe, end quote, and said he had decided to open the strategic debate on the protection of our allies on the European continent by nuclear deterrent. He said the use of France's nuclear weapons would remain only in the hands of the French president. France is the only nuclear power in the European Union. After setting the context of the current political situation between the United States and Europe, Macron said, quote, "The United States of America, our ally, has changed its position on this war, supporting Ukraine less and leaving doubt about what comes next," end quote. And now for the weather. Present weather is cloudy skies with showers in the vicinity. Winds are a light breeze of 7 miles per hour from an easterly direction. Seas are 1 to 1.8 meters or 3 to 6 feet. The temperature for today is 28 degrees Celsius or 83 degrees Fahrenheit. The weather forecast for today predicts partly cloudy skies with a 40% or moderate chance of showers. Tonight will be partly cloudy with a 20% or slight chance of showers. Sunset for today will be at 6:19 p.m. and sunrise for tomorrow will be at 6:24 a.m. And that brings us to the end of the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Join us this evening for these stories and more in detail. Thank you for tuning in. I'm your presenter, Shanique Harvey.